classic supercell, big screaming eagle hook.
The hook is moving right over downtown Oklahoma City. It's been a long time since we've had one take this exact path.
Hundreds of thousands of homes and businesses in here, and cars.
This storm is looking a little meaner than it was earlier.
It's actually picking up dirt, and it's pulling into the storm.
That dust, that area of dust is slowly rotating.
There it is, confirmed tornado. We had it right here live on News 9.
High school championships are going on. They actually stopped the game that was happening at the OG Coliseum.
This will go down as a multi-million-dollar hailstorm.
Live from downtown Oklahoma City, Oklahoma's own News 9 starts now.
We have breaking news right now at 4 a.m. We're hearing reports of major damage in Marietta. That's down in Love County after yesterday's storms. Our Kylie Dedman is on the way to Marietta right now to survey the damage. But here's what you need to know. The southbound lanes of I-35, they've been shut down since 11 last night because of multiple crashes. We're also hearing reports of people injured in that storm. We're working to confirm just how serious those injuries may be. Over 2,000 people still without power this morning. The town was hit by an EF4 tornado just 2 years ago. Do you remember this? It destroyed the Dollar General distribution center right there off of I-35. A hospital it destroyed as well, and a grocery store. One person was killed in that storm. A new emergency room was built to withstand the EF4 tornado. It opened, and Dollar General broke ground for a new distribution center in September, and now we're talking about Marietta once again.
Yeah, heartbreaking.
It's tough. I mean, if you come from Dallas, you go right past that distribution center, and you've seen it. It was still like the whole side of it.
Right.
It's just completely destroyed.
And a big deal to that community. So,
absolutely. So many jobs.
Yeah, interested to see what we have from Kylie this morning. There was a severe thunderstorm warning down in that area. A lot of folks thinking it was straight line wind damage, but hearing reports that the damage is far more extensive than what wind damage would be.
Sure. I mean, sometimes straight line winds can be extremely dangerous and can cause a lot of damage. Certainly. But I think this morning, I mean, the big story is that we've had a lot of storms last night. Tuttle hit by tornadoes. I mean, it's been quite a month so far.
Yeah, we had a supercell come right through the Oklahoma City metro. That doesn't happen often. Right down I-40. We did have two very weak tornadoes. Let me show you some of the video from our Val caster, and we'll listen in here.
Circulation right underneath it. We are in strong southwest winds where we're at. We have strong RFD.
So this is a weak
right
tornado. The spin
that
was not all that strong. The rotation not all that strong. There's the cone higher up, and then this was pulling up in dust. And again, this will more than likely be rated an EF0. We're grateful for no reports of any damage or injuries. And right after this, we had another tornado near Tuttle as well. So let me go ahead and show you yesterday's storm reports. Again, down on the southwest side, there were your two tornadoes. And if that does go down as 2 with our preliminary number of 15, we would tie the record of 17 tornadoes for the month of March. We'll see. The big deal for most of the Oklahoma City metro was actually hail, a multi-million-dollar hailstorm. We had hail up to the size of golf balls and even some tennis balls. So here is that hook radar feature there as this storm came right through the metro, a confirmed tornado over the Tuttle area as it went through the Mustang. The sirens were sounding there, and then again right down I-40, and this thing was tornado warned as it went through the entire metro. Did not produce a tornado in the Oklahoma City metro. We picked up rain, and then again it was also a whole lot of hail. So taking you back, thunderstorms developed up in the northwest. Our tornado warned supercell right through the metro with a line forming as we went into the 9 to 10 o'clock hour. That severe thunderstorm down in Marietta and far southern Oklahoma, and all of this pushed off into eastern Oklahoma. This morning, a little bit of light rain continuing, and look just how big this storm system has been. We'll talk more about it. A strong cold front hits today. Your full 9-day forecast is minutes away. Colby, back to you.
Megan, thank you. Thousands of people were at the state fairgrounds as this storm made its way through Oklahoma City. Oklahoma Youth Expo and high school state basketball tournaments were all put on hold and told to shelter in the bathrooms. You'll remember David Payne saying, state fairgrounds, state fairgrounds, state fairgrounds. In fact, the basketball games at OG&E Coliseum picked back up once that all clear was given. 4:05 right now. Breaking overnight, Oklahoma City firefighters push a burning car out of a garage before it extends into a home on the southwest side of the metro. I want to show you the scene right near Southwest 89th and May. This was just after midnight. Firefighters tell us the car was fully involved when they got to the scene. They say the owner was working on the car yesterday, but the cause of the fire still under investigation. Crews say 2 people were in that home. Fortunately, no one was hurt. Also happening overnight, Metro firefighters put out an apartment fire they believe started on purpose. Crews got to the call around 2 this morning. This was right near Rockwell and Britton. Firefighters say no one was hurt, but the fire may have caused about $10,000 in damages. Crews say that they have not identified a suspect just yet. We'll be following the latest on that investigation. And this morning, we're hearing from a pizza delivery driver about the terrifying moments he was shot while on the job. This happened about 2 weeks ago on the northeast side of Oklahoma City. Steven says that the night this started like normal turned out to be something very different. Things started to feel very off when he arrived at a home. A person there said that they never placed an order. He called the number on the ticket and the customers told him to meet them near Northeast 15th and Irving. That's when he says 2 men tried to rob him.
My flight instincts kicked in. I tried to get away as quickly as possible and try to get into my car and leave. As soon as I got the door open, that's when the trigger was pulled. Gun went off, and then I fell to the ground. They grabbed my bag and then ran off.
Scary moments. Oklahoma City police say 18-year-old Jacoby Helms was arrested. Stevens says that does give him some closure, but he still has a long road to recovery. Right now, he is in a rehabilitation hospital trying to walk again. 4:07, taking a live look at Washington, D.C. this morning, as News 9 has learned today and tomorrow will be key dates for some of the power players currently involved with conversations about Oklahoma's soon-to-be open Senate seat. News 9's Matt McCabe has been following all the news and has the latest.
Just a couple days after an actual shortlist emerged of names under consideration for Governor Kevin Stitt's appointment to fill Markwayne Mullen's Senate seat, Stitt himself is heading to Washington. On Tuesday, the State Chamber of Commerce told News 9 that Stitt had canceled his appearance at the evening's legislative dinner to accommodate his travel plans to the nation's capital. Originally, the Chamber also said, and News 9 reported, that a meeting with President Donald Trump was part of Stitt's plan while in town. But they later retracted that statement and said it could not confirm those details. However, 4 other sources familiar with the plans confirmed Stitt will travel to D.C. and that he plans to be on Capitol Hill on Thursday, meeting with members of the state's congressional delegation. Stitt's press secretary told News 9 that the governor was not meeting with the president on Tuesday night, but did not address the reports that Stitt is heading to D.C. and what for. An internal email leaked to News 9 and a source familiar with the matter also confirmed that U.S. Representative Kevin Hern is set to officially announce his bid to enter the Senate race on Wednesday. Republican strategists nationally and locally have also speculated that Stitt himself could enter the race, possibly running against Hern, but Stitt has not formally announced any plans. In Oklahoma City, Matt McCabe, Oklahoma Zone, News 9.
We'll certainly be following the latest. Meanwhile, Senator Markwayne Mullen has already started visiting other senators to gather support for his confirmation as the next Secretary of Homeland Security. We'll be following that confirmation hearing as well. It's set tentatively scheduled for next week. Senator Mullen met with Senator James Lankford yesterday ahead of that hearing. Senator Lankford told our Washington Bureau Chief Alex Cameron that he expects Americans will see deportations handled differently under Senator Mullen.
I think there will be some changes. There'll be some changes on how they do training for agents, how they do de-escalation, how they actually do operations in cities. That was something that was distinctly Kristi Noem and her leadership to be able to do that. I think Markwayne coming as a new leader is going to take a very different tack on those things.
Senator Mullen says, or Senator Lankford that is, says that Mullen is the right person for the job because he has President Donald Trump's complete trust. Right now, the Oklahoma Highway Patrol is warning of a scam making the rounds right now. Troopers say people are receiving a text claiming to be from the State Department of Motor Vehicles. They say you got to make a payment for a traffic violation or your driver's license will be suspended. Well, the Highway Patrol says that if you get this text, simply delete it. This weekend, the Fairview community will come together to remember the lives of a mother and daughter killed in last week's tornadoes. Loved ones tell us that Jody, a mother of 8, and 13-year-old Lexi Owens were on the road last Thursday when a tornado hit their van. The public is invited now to celebrate their life at Cedar Springs Church of the Nazarenes Saturday. That starts at 1 p.m. And in northeast Oklahoma, Beggs Middle School is now closed for the rest of the school year after a severe storm damages their building. That school was one of multiple buildings damaged in Friday's tornado. 2 people were killed in that storm. And district leaders say that the tornado damaged the gym, it damaged the cafeteria, classrooms, and most of the buses. A plan right now is in the works to relocate those students for the rest of the school year. So far, details haven't been released. They've been out of school since those storms hit. Next week is spring break, so maybe school leaders are going to be trying to figure out something to do to get those students back in the classroom. But as we turn to the Bob Mills Weather Center now, Megan, it's just been a wild start to March. We're only 11 days in, and we've already had so many tornadoes across Oklahoma.
I think we've had enough of March. We can go ahead and skip
we're
forward.
done. We're done.
The good news is that the rest of the month looks very, very quiet. Thinking about all the folks that have been impacted by the storms here, what a wild week it has been. We'll talk more about what happened last night coming up. For today, there is a strong cold front that is going to blast through. We have had winds gusting to 40 and 50 miles per hour back behind that front. It brings in much cooler temperatures for today, and there are no severe weather chances today, thank goodness. We'll talk all about that 9-day forecast, how it looks headed into the weekend that's coming up.
And still ahead, about half of Oklahoma school districts are using artificial intelligence for reading assessments. Coming up, we're going to look at how it works. After the break, it's today's Oklahoma Education Report. Welcome back. Last night, we got to talk about this. I went to the shelter when the sirens went off here in Oklahoma County.
As you should.
And Megan was like, I think you're fine.
Okay,
and I was like,
okay.
well, not fine, but just like, is it close to you? It was sort of the question.
I knew that it wasn't. So
It
that's
wasn't.
why I
Yes,
was like,
exactly.
I mean, I'm very glad that you're heeding the warning,
Yes.
that you're in your safe place, as we always say you should be.
Yeah.
But you were on kind of the further north side. It was really headed.
It was south.
Yeah.
Yeah, and,
So-
and what I said is that I got 2 kids and a dog that we got to get into the shelter.
You
And
did the right thing. You did the right
sometimes
thing.
it takes a little bit of work to
I
get
was
them
being a
all there
hater.
at the same time. But I appreciate you looking out for me. You did text me. I will say that to your credit and said, you guys okay? And we were okay.
Yeah.
So that's the good news. But some folks did see some tornado action, and unfortunately, it's just been that way for the first 11 days of March? It's been wild.
It's literally only been a week that we've had tornadoes. So it was last Thursday, Friday, and then yesterday. And it has been, I mean, for so many Oklahomans, kind of a scary start to spring. It's been a very warm start yesterday. We had sunshine late in the day. We did not have any showers early in the day, which helped make us more unstable later into the afternoon, warm temperatures, and we had those dynamics in place to get some tornadoes. Let me show you video if you're just now joining us here at 416. That's the voice of our Valcaster. This was one of those very weak tornadoes, and I say weak because there just was not a whole lot of spin with this. It was moving very, very slowly, and it was actually picking up dust with it. So this will more than likely be rated an EF0. We're grateful that we have had no reports of damage or injuries in the Tuttle area, but that is where our 2 tornadoes did happen yesterday. More video to show you. We had our Bob Mills Sky News 9. I mean, what a shot there as that mesocyclone was right on top of Oklahoma City, really passed right on top of our station here in News 9. And as the sun was setting, the rain shaft there kind of hiding the view of the sunset, just an ominous shot. And that's our Mason Dunn. Again, grateful that he was up in the sky. And then down in Marlow, we had hail as well. This video from our Tom Pastrano down in the Marlow area and farther down into southern Oklahoma. And for most Oklahomans, at least in the metro, it was all about the hail. So let me take you to Links 1 and kind of walk you through where we have been, where we're headed. The record number of tornadoes for the month of March is 17. And right now, we are looking at a preliminary number of 17 tornadoes. There is some damage down in southern Oklahoma. We have our Kylie Deadman headed down to Marietta this morning and hearing reports that it sounds like tornado damage. No confirmed tornado last night, but if that were to go down after damage assessments are done, it's very possible that we break the record. So we'll know more as we continue to kind of go through the coming weeks here, but look at the hail through the metro. And again, there are your 2 tornadoes down on the southwest side. So we had 2 supercells that went up and they kind of split, and it was the right mover that came right through the heart of Oklahoma City. So many folks in their storm shelters because of this through the Mustang area. And as this thing kind of went eastward and the tornado warning continued through the metro, we had no tornado in the Oklahoma City metro. So we got very, very lucky. Things could have been much, much worse. But look at the hail swath as the hail went up through Union City, Yukon, the village over to, let's see here, just north of the Capitol and the outlet shops, and then through Spencer and Jones. So more than anything, it was a big time hailstorm, and we will have multi-million-dollar impacts from that hailstorm. Just to show you, hail up to the size of tennis balls, maybe just below baseballs there in Jones, and then in Oklahoma City, larger than golf balls, right around the tennis ball sized hail. So taking you back, thunderstorms took off in the northwest during the late afternoon hours, and then our tornado warned storms into the metro right around dinner time. The line filled in by 8 to 9 o'clock and then pressed off into eastern Oklahoma with a few additional tornado warnings right along the Oklahoma-Arkansas state line. Our sister station was covering that, and we do still have some rain on the radar down to the south, but look how big this storm system has been from the Midwest all the way down through Missouri, and now this morning through Arkansas and down into the DFW Metroplex. And on the backside of it, some snow. Cold front comes in this morning, and no severe weather for today, but we get a big time cool cool down. Temperatures up to the north in the teens and the 20s. We don't get that cold, but tomorrow morning we definitely fall below freezing. 61 is our temperature right now. Very, very mild out the door. Upper 50s, low 60s. There's your cold front. 30s and 40s back behind it. This morning we've had a few gusts to 40 and 50 miles per hour. Winds have backed off a little bit, but as that cold front comes blasting through, I think we have gusts 40 to 45 miles per hour. So today is a flat out windy day, and temperatures from the 80s yesterday to the 50s and the 60s. We will have mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies, and tonight as the clouds clear out, winds are pretty light. We fall below freezing. So for all of you that are doing your planting, your gardening, just a heads up, we have several days on the 9-day where temperatures fall below freezing. For tomorrow, we're back to a south wind. We warm it up, very windy back in the west with sunshine into the weekend, warming it. 70s and 80s. Our next strong cold front moves through Sunday. A big cool down, and we warm it right back up. Colby, back over to you.
Megan, thank you. When it comes to improving Oklahoma's poor education performance, most of the solutions in the spotlight right now are focused on reading. Now, some Oklahoma schools are using AI to gauge and guide students through reading skills in real time. We found out how it works in this morning's Educate Oklahoma report.
It doesn't take much to read the room. These are the sounds of modern learning.
Repeat after me. Captions.
Captions.
This is Amira, cutting through the noise.
Let's learn about this word with rhymes.
Artificial intelligence built to bring real results. Into Melissa Johnson's first grade class at Piedmont Elementary, these sounds are heard twice a week.
Are you doing your questions now? Comp questions? The kids have enjoyed Amira. It's different than other programs that we have used. It's not really just the oral reading piece of it, but it's that there is a tutor that goes along with the reading.
The program is used for reading assessments 3 times a year, but this is the first year Mrs. Johnson introduced the Amira Tutor, which these students use an hour a week.
As they are reading, there's somebody that comes along as if they don't know a word, they will help them with that word. So they might break that word down. So it just helps them to have that assistant that's there to help whenever they get stuck.
Find the missing word that matches.
It gives us just an idea about where our kids are, and the program then is going to be able to assess and put them kind of on a pathway, what they need, what skills they're strong in, which skills they need work in. So it will be individualized for them.
It is giving them that distributed practice.
Melissa Algram is the state's Director of Literacy Policy and Programs. She says Oklahoma's had a contract with Amira since 2024.
Do you see this as an instance where that kind of technology may not only improve our reading performance, but our educational outcomes in the long run?
We know that we have a struggle for our most precious resource, which is time. And there are ways that we can get more time for teachers, and that is being able to use the tools that are available to us. And one of those tools is this AI.
Amira is currently in 250 Oklahoma school districts, with classrooms in Bixby, Stillwater, and Piedmont already reporting results.
Would you like to see Amira in every school district?
I would like to see a common assessment in every school district. And at this point, I would say that of the options that we have, Amira has been chosen for a state contract for a reason.
One of those reasons, real-time data outside of typical assessments.
How about we work on being?
And while AI's rapid advancements give some pause,
Excellent reading, good job.
Melissa sees it as a place to start.
I don't think that Amira takes my place, but it is a really great tool for extra practice.
When it comes to building a foundation,
It can get pretty chaotic.
the sounds of extra practice can't be heard enough.
Yabba dabba!
And the Amira program is available to all Oklahoma school districts through the State Department of Education. We're back right after this. So glad you're with us here at 4 in the morning. There's Pierce. He's behind the camera there. Yep. And Megan's getting everything ready for your full forecast. Is coming up right after this. Robin and Lacey will join us.
Classic Supercell, big Screamin' Eagle hook.
The hook is moving right over downtown Oklahoma City. It's been a long time since we've had one take this exact path.
Hundreds of thousands of homes and businesses in here, and cars.
This storm is looking a little meaner than it was earlier.
It's actually picking up dirt, and it's pulling into the storm.
That dust, that area of dust is slowly rotating.
There it is, confirmed tornado. We had it right here live on News 9.
High school championships are going on. They actually stopped the game that was happening at the OG Coliseum.
This will go down as a multi-million-dollar hailstorm.
Live from downtown Oklahoma City, Oklahoma's own News 9 starts now.
And a wild night of winter weather. We have damage reports this morning. It sounds like Oklahoma City dodged a bullet, but this morning, major damage in Marietta from the storms down in Love County. Our Kylie Deadman is on the way to Marietta to survey the damage, but the southbound lanes of I-35 have been shut down since 11 o'clock last night because of so many crashes on the interstate.
I think the interstate is just now getting back open early this morning after these spring storms. We are also hearing reports of people people injured in the storm. We're working to confirm how serious the injuries are. Over 2,000 people are without power this morning.
Yeah, the town, as you'll recall, was hit by an EF4 tornado just 2 years ago. This is the video from that. It destroyed the Dollar General distribution center, a hospital, a grocery store. One person was killed in that storm. A new emergency room was built to withstand an EF4 tornado, and that just opened. The Dollar General broke ground for a new distribution center in September, and now we're talking about possible storm damage again.
We'll have more on the current damage coming up in our next half hour as soon as our crews get there, but a wild night for sure.
Yeah, let's get over to Megan Gold this morning. Megan, I know you have a lot more pictures. We had a huge hailstorm across the metro.
We did a big hailstorm, and this was one of just 2 weak tornadoes that our Valcaster was on. Not a lot of spin there. It was some slow spin, weak rotation, but it was a tornado nonetheless. Look at all the dust being pulled up into the cone, as you can see here. And a weak tornado is still a tornado. We're grateful for no damage and no reports of any injuries in and near the Tuttle area. Also, as you all mentioned, hail, the big deal. This was down in Marlow from our Tom Pastrano. We had golf ball to tennis ball sized hail, even into the metro. So let me take you to Links 1 and show you exactly what happened. We knew the environment was conducive to tornadoes, to large hail and damaging winds. There are the two tornadoes right on the Grady-Canadian County line, and then the hail from Union City up through the north sides of Oklahoma City. So the main deal was the fact that we have not had a tornado-warned storm, or really a storm like this, roll through the heart of Oklahoma City in quite some time. So supercells went up at about 5:30. We had two that split. The left mover was wind and hail, and it was the right mover that ultimately produced those two tornadoes down near the Tuttle area. And this thing was tornado warned as it went down right I-40 all the way out to Choctaw before eventually weakening before more thunderstorms rolled in. This is the hail swath as hail from Union City through Yukon up to Bethany, the Village, and into the Spencer and Jones area. Multi-million-dollar hailstorm through the metro. So the storms took off during the afternoon, the evening, and filled in during the overnight hours, pressing off into eastern Oklahoma during the late overnight hours, and we are now severe clear here on your Wednesday morning. We'll talk more about this storm, also what to talk about or what is headed our way for the rest of your Wednesday coming up.
And as those storms were barreling across the metro, thousands of people were at the state fairgrounds right here in the heart of Oklahoma City. It was the Oklahoma Youth Expo, and then everyone at the big house, the high school state basketball tournaments. Look what happened. Here was one of the games. The sirens are going off, and they said, you know what? We got to halt these basketball games. Everyone had to get into the bathrooms that are tornado shelters. The basketball games at the OG&E Coliseum did pick back up once the all clear was given. I tell you, Oklahoma City dodged a bullet as far as the tornadoes, but the hail damage assessment will begin today.
And some other headlines breaking overnight. Oklahoma City firefighters push a burning car out of a garage before that flame extended into the home on the southwest side of the metro. Want to show you the scene. This is right near Southwest 89th and May, just after midnight. Firefighters tell us the car was fully involved when they got to the scene. They say the owner was working on the car yesterday, but the cause of the fire still under investigation. Crews say 2 people were inside that home. Fortunately, no one was hurt. Also happening overnight, Metro firefighters put out an apartment fire they believe started on purpose. Crews got that call around 2 this morning, right near Rockwell and Britton. Firefighters say no one was hurt, but the fire may have caused about $10,000 in damages. Crews say that they have not identified a suspect just yet.
One person loses their life after a multi-car crash in northwest Oklahoma City. It kind of happened when those storms were moving in just before 8 last night on Northwest Expressway near May Avenue. Oklahoma City police say a motorcycle crashed with 2 other cars. Unfortunately, the motorcyclist died at the scene. It's unclear if anyone in the other 2 cars were hurt. We're still trying to figure that out from police. So far, no names have been released.
A Metro pizza delivery driver telling News 9 about the terrifying moments he was shot while on the job delivering a pizza. This was just 2 weeks ago on the northeast side of Oklahoma City. Stephen tells us the night started like normal. He was delivering pizzas, but then Things started to feel a little off when he arrived at a home, and the person there said they never placed a pizza order. He called the number on the ticket, and the customers told him to meet them at Northeast 15th and Irving. That's when he says 2 men tried to rob him.
My flight instincts kicked in. I tried to get away as quickly as possible and try to get into my car and leave. As soon as I got the door open, that's when the trigger was pulled. Gun went off, and then I fell to the ground. They grabbed my bag, and then ran off.
Oklahoma City police say this man, 18-year-old Jacoby Helms, has been arrested. Now, Stephen, the delivery driver, says that arrest gives him some closure, but at this point, he still has a long road to recovery for his health. He is now in rehab, trying to learn to walk again.
Right now, the Oklahoma Highway Patrol is warning about a scam that's making the rounds. Troopers say that people are receiving a text claiming to be from the State Department of Motor Vehicles, the DMV. They say you must make a payment for a traffic violation or your driver's license is going to get suspended. Well, OHP says that if you get this text, simply delete it.
This upcoming weekend, the Fairview community will come together to remember the lives of a mother and daughter killed in last week's tornadoes. Loved ones tell us Jody Owens, a mother of 8, and her 13-year-old daughter Lexi were on Highway 60 in Fairview last Thursday night when a tornado hit their van. The public is invited to their celebration of life. It will be at Cedar Springs Church of the Nazarene on Saturday at 1 p.m. Meanwhile, fundraising efforts for the family have now surpassed $130,000 to help with future costs.
And in Northeast Oklahoma, there are changes for Beggs Middle School students. They are still going to have class, but they won't be able to return to the actual middle school. It was severely damaged after that storm came through late Friday night. The tornado hit it. The school was one of multiple buildings that were damaged. 2 people, were killed in that storm. Beggs district leaders say the tornado damaged the gym, the cafeteria, the classrooms, and a lot of the buses. So a plan right now is in the works to relocate the students. There is going to be school. They're just not going to be able to use the middle school building. Details on the changes for the classrooms for the students have not been announced.
Just shows you how much weather can disrupt life in Oklahoma.
In just an instant, too.
We were wondering about that because they were hoping to have students back in the building after spring break, and you see that damage and you're like,
there's just no way. Yeah, for everyone's safety and stuff. So they're still trying to work through that plan. It's a small community. They'll come together. They'll figure it out some way, but our heart's going out to them this morning, Lacey.
Absolutely. Let's get back over to Megan Gold. She's in the Bob Mills Weather Center. We are watching for a cold front coming through, Megan.
A cold front comes through, and today's about 25 degrees colder than yesterday with a chilly north wind. We are severe clear here on your Wednesday morning with rain down to the south. Cold front up to the north. More on your Wednesday forecast coming up.
And still ahead, Governor Kevin Stitt cancels a Chamber of Commerce appearance for a trip to D.C. How it's tied to the search for the state's next senator. It's after the break.
As you're waking up on a Wednesday morning, we do know right now south of the metro, far south in Marietta, it looks like a pretty significant storm. Possible tornado came through there. Sounds like a lot of damage, Megan.
So it was a severe thunderstorm warning, but hearing, like you said, that the damage is potentially worthy of being looked at for a tornado. So there's a very good chance that happens. Surveys will be conducted and we'll know more. But right now, no confirmed tornado. It was not tornado warned, which is the scary thing.
Right.
So we're hoping everybody's okay. I know there's reports of injuries. So
Poor,
we'll have our crew.
poor Marietta. I mean, they've been through it the last couple of years. I mean, they got hit with the EF4 just 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Right over I-35. It sounds like that could be the same track of yesterday's storm. Daylight will reveal a lot this morning.
It will, and it could have been a really quick, brief spin up, but even then that can do damage when it happens in a populated area. So I know we'll have our Kylie Deadman out there this morning. I've got video to show you. Of course, so many folks in the Oklahoma City metro, whether it was the hail or the actual supercell that was a rotating thunderstorm that came right down I-40. We had thousands of Oklahomans in their storm shelters as through the Mustang area, the Yukon area, into kind of portions of where Will Rogers is down on the south side of the metro. Tornado sirens were sounding. There's a time lapse from right here in downtown as that thunderstorm came right overhead. We had our storm trackers out and our Valcaster was on the tornado warned storm in Tuttle. This is right on the Grady-Canadian County line, and you can see the cone farther up to the north. Not a lot of motion here, so it was a weak tornado. Nonetheless, still a tornado, and it can still do damage and hurt people. But this will more than likely be rated an EF0. Look at all the dust being picked up with that rotation and very, very slow rotation. So we're grateful this morning that no reports of any damage and any injuries in and near the Tuttle and the Minco area. We also had hail. Hail was the big story for most people in the metro, also down in southern Oklahoma. This is from our storm tracker Tom Pastrano in Marlow last night, right before 8 o'clock. Golf ball to even some tennis balls mixing in there. So this has been quite a week here in Oklahoma, and up until yesterday, we had 15 preliminary tornadoes. And remember, once damage assessments are done, that number can change. It can go up, it can come down. But if we add the two from yesterday, that would tie us with the all-time March record for tornadoes of 17 set back in 1991. Now, let's say that storm down in Marietta did produce a tornado, then we would potentially break that record. Here's a picture from right here in the metro of tennis ball size hail. Check it out there. Just significant hail. We'll continue to show more pictures throughout the morning. Now here on your Wednesday, we're totally dry here in Oklahoma City. There is still some rain down to the south, but the big change coming today is a big cool down, a flat out windy day with a strong north wind bringing in much cooler air. And just to show you the span of this storm system, all the way from South Texas up through portions of Kansas, Arkansas, Missouri, up into the Midwest and the Great Lakes, where there is an ice storm warning up in Michigan, if you can believe it, and travel advisories with winter storm warnings up across Wisconsin. So a big time storm system. Again, most of the state totally dry, nothing severe, but rain down in far southeastern Oklahoma. And today is a dry day. Here is the live look on our Lucky Stars Skycam network. Our view of downtown here. Temperatures out the door very, very mild. 61 is our temperature. Little cloud cover still overhead with a southwest breeze. And there's the cold air coming in from the northwest. 56 in Weatherford, 62 in Enid, 63 in Shawnee to Tecumseh, and 60 in Purcell. So there's your cold front. Back behind it, 30s and 40s. Earlier this morning, when that front initially moved into the state, we had winds gusting to 50 miles per hour. They've backed off some, but this front is going to dive to the south through the morning, and we will have gusts 40 to 45, maybe an isolated gust to 50 miles per hour, and the winds are strong all all day long today. So temperatures 50s and 60s this afternoon, but when you tack on the wind, it feels much, much chillier than that. We will have clearing skies, mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies. And then overnight tonight, it is cold. We're in the 50s and 60s this morning. We're in the 20s and 30s tomorrow morning. It's a dry night. Southwest winds kick back in for tomorrow, and we're going to warm it back into the 60s and 70s with sunshine. So we do have another cold shot headed our way. So we're going to warm into the weekend. Your Saturday highs in the 80s, and then on Sunday, highs back into the 50s, and then a big ridge of high pressure takes over. Very warm, very dry, and I think we end the month of March very, very dry. It actually looks like as we go through the end of the month, we may have very little in the way of rain and even thunderstorm chances. So no severe weather chances on your 9-day forecast. Hopefully you'll make plans to get outdoors here over the next couple of days. Friday, Saturday look amazing. Sunday is very windy and chilly. 50 degrees on Monday, and we start another big warm up, guys. Back over to you.
Megan, thank you. 4:49 your time right now, taking a live look at Washington, D.C. this morning, as News 9 has learned today and tomorrow will be key dates for some of the power players currently involved with conversations about Oklahoma's soon-to-be open Senate seat. News 9's Matt McCabe has been following the news and has the latest.
Just a couple days after an actual shortlist emerged of names under consideration for Governor Kevin Stitt's appointment to fill Markwayne Mullen's Senate seat, Stitt himself is heading to Washington. On Tuesday, the State Chamber of Commerce told News 9 that Stitt had canceled his appearance at the evening's legislative dinner to accommodate his travel plans to the nation's capital. Originally, the chamber also said, and News 9 reported, that a meeting with President Donald Trump was part of Stitt's plan while in town. But they later retracted that statement and said it could not confirm those details. However, 4 other sources familiar with the plans confirmed Stitt will travel to D.C. and that he plans to be on Capitol Hill on Thursday, meeting with members of the state's congressional delegation. Stitt's press secretary told News 9 that the governor was not meeting with the president on Tuesday night, but did not address the reports that Stitt is heading to D.C. and what for. An internal email leaked to News 9 and a source familiar with the matter also confirmed that U.S. Representative Kevin Hern is set to officially announce his bid to enter the Senate race on Wednesday. Republican strategists nationally and locally have also speculated that Stitt himself could enter the race, possibly running against Hern, but Stitt has not formally announced any plans. In Oklahoma City, Matt McCabe, Oklahoma Zone, News 9.
Meanwhile, Senator Mullen has already started visiting other senators, gathering support for his confirmation as the next Secretary of Homeland Security. That confirmation hearing is tentatively scheduled to begin next week. Senator Mullen met with Senator James Langford ahead of the hearing. This was yesterday. Senator Langford told our Washington bureau chief Alex Cameron he expects Americans will see deportations handled differently under Markwayne Mullen.
I think there will be some changes. There'll be some changes on how they do training for agents, how they do de-escalation, how they actually do operations in cities. That was something that was distinctly Kristi Noem and her leadership to be able to do that. I think Markwayne coming as a new leader is going to take a very different tack on those things.
Yeah, Senator Langford goes on to say that Markwayne Mullen is the right person for the job because he has President Donald Trump's complete trust.
Still ahead, a new search for 2 missing girls from Northeast Oklahoma believed to be killed 25 years ago, where investigators are now looking for Laura Bible and Ashley Freeman. The latest on the search coming up. Hey, check this out. Hundreds of spectators gather in New York City to find JFK Jr.'s look-alike. Here we go. The competition featured contestants who channeled the late icon's style through suits, backward hats, even rollerblades. That's a pretty good one right there. The contest was fueled by FX's newest series, Love Story, which dramatizes the life of JFK Jr. and his wife, Carolyn, who both died. These are pretty good contestants right here.
It's terrifying that they all just look the same.
Man, they got a lot of time on their hands.
I only know JFK Jr. from an episode of Seinfeld, so I was a little too young, I think, but it was a great episode.
A lot of good lookalikes.
Well, you got dark hair, put a hat on and some glasses, and tall, dark, and handsome.
Dinner,
Colby,
Colby. There we go.
You win.
All right, I'm making a backwards hat. Let me get ready.
Made his day. All right, hey, as you are waking up, we are just kind of recapping what happened yesterday. It was a wild day, Megan.
It was 2 weak tornadoes down near the Tuttle area. Thankfully, no reports of any damage or injuries. This morning, all of that severe weather is pushed off to the east, some rain down to the south, and it's all about a cold front today as that comes blasting through a very strong north wind. We'll talk about it coming up.
All right, ahead, a power outage at OSU, not caused by the weather. Wait till you hear about the culprit who did it. We'll show you next.
Live from downtown Oklahoma City, Oklahoma's own News 9 starts now.
classic supercell, big screaming eagle hook.
The hook is moving right over downtown Oklahoma City. It's been a long time since we've had one take this exact path.
Hundreds of thousands of homes and businesses in here, and cars.
This storm is looking a little meaner than it was earlier.
It's actually picking up dirt, and it's pulling into the storm.
That dust, that area of dust is slowly rotating.
There it is, confirmed tornado. We had it right here live on News 9.
High school championships are going on. They actually stopped the game that was happening at the OG Coliseum.
This will go down as a multi-million dollar hailstorm.
Welcome this morning. It's a Wednesday morning, the morning after severe weather and tornadoes moving through Oklahoma. What a wild night. Oklahoma City really dodged a bullet as far as the tornadoes.
Not everyone did, though. We are hearing reports of damage in Love County. Look at your screen right here. You are looking at a photo of a home destroyed in Marietta. We'll have a live report from crews in that area coming up in just a moment. Also, Colby, about 6,400 power outages this morning.
That's right. And right here back in the metro, many of us in downtown Oklahoma City saw one of those tornado-warned storms move through. I'm sure you heard the sirens going off over and over and over again. Meteorologist Megan Gold joins us from the Bob Mills Weather Center with the latest. Megan?
Good morning, guys. What a week it has been here in Oklahoma. We had at least 15. That was our preliminary count of tornadoes from last Thursday and Friday. And if we add the 2 from last night, that would tie us for the all-time March record on tornadoes. Those 2 tornadoes were down near the Tuttle area, and the rotation, the spin was weak, the cone farther up, and this was picking up dust. So again, not a lot of strong rotations. These will more than likely be rated EF0s. No reports of damage or any injuries. We're very, very grateful for that. And again, this was our Valcaster on that tornado warned storm that was eventually confirmed as a tornado on the ground. Now more as we go through really the videos here, and there's another video for you here. There's that second tornado. So 2 tornadoes there in the Tuttle area, and this is the one that's a little more pronounced, that cone shape up to the north, and then there's that spin as it picks up dust. So it was also a big hailstorm here in the metro. Let me take you to Links 1 and show you it. Also, Bob Mills Sky News 9. Check it out as this storm came right on top of Oklahoma City. So the tornadoes down to the southwest, a multi-million-dollar hailstorm for the Nichols Hills area up to the Village and through portions of the metro. So as these supercells went up, they split. Here's the left mover and the right mover, and it was the right mover that eventually went on to produce those tornadoes near the Tuttle area and come right down I-40 with that pronounced hook feature. It was tornado warned all the way out to the east sides of the metro. And look at the hail swath down from Union City up to Bethany, and again Nichols Hills, the Village, out to Spencer and Jones. Here on your Wednesday morning, no severe weather in the state, rain down to the south, and temperatures, they are on the warm side, 50s and 60s. We'll talk more about your Wednesday forecast. A strong cold front is moving in, guys. Back over to you.
Some of you in Jones sending us photos of the hail you got. Look at the size of these hailstones. In fact, the staff at Healing Hand Veterinary Wellness Center showing us their dog carriers that got destroyed from hailstones cracking through the plastic. Unbelievable. Everybody's okay, but it just shows you the damage. You can send your photos to pics@news9.net. Thousands of people were at the state fairgrounds last night, and look at this. They had to stop everything. This was the Oklahoma Youth Expo event, high school basketball state tournaments, and they said, folks, we got to get out of here. Our Thunder reporter Steve McGehee was in the OG&E Coliseum when officials literally stopped games and said to the crowd, get to the bathrooms, which are storm shelters. They took a big pause. They were in there for about 25 minutes, and then everything resumed once the storms passed.
And other headlines breaking now. Firefighters working to put out a garage fire in Edmond. This is the scene right near Santa Fe and Coffee Creek Road. Our crews on scene there say that the fire is out now, but firefighters were working on clearing the garage. As you can see, they are still working hard, have all their equipment out at this point. This is a live look from our Joey Mitchell. We'll bring you the latest as it comes in. Also overnight, Metro firefighters put out an apartment fire where they believe it was started on purpose. Crews got this call around 2 this morning near Rockwell and Britton. Firefighters say no one was hurt, but that fire may have caused about $10,000 in damages. Crews say that they have not identified a suspect.
And now to Fairview, where a community will be giving a celebration of life for a mother and daughter killed by that tornado that came through last Thursday night. They were in their car when the tornado came over the roadway. Jody Owens, mother of 8, and her 13-year-old daughter Lexi were on the road when the EF2 tornado hit their van. The public is invited to remember them, celebrate their life. It'll be this Saturday at 1 at the Cedar Springs Church of the Nazarene. A GoFundMe supporting the family has now raised over $132,000. If you feel compelled to donate, we do have the link and all the information on our website, news9.com. And in Northeast Oklahoma, Beggs Middle School says its current building will be closed for the rest of the school year due to the damage from the tornado. School officials say their softball and baseball fields have to be replaced. The gas and electrical lines were all torn up. School leaders say they'll share the next steps for the middle school students soon. They will be moved to different buildings. Colby?
Robin, when it comes to educational outcomes and improving educational performance, most solutions in the spotlight right now are focused on reading. In fact, some Oklahoma schools, about half of the districts, are using AI to gauge and guide students through reading skills in real time. We got to see just how it works.
It doesn't take much to read the room. These are the sounds of modern learning.
Repeat after me. Captions.
Captions.
This is Amira, cutting through the noise.
Let's learn about this word with rhymes.
Artificial intelligence built to bring real results. Into Melissa Johnson's first grade class at Piedmont Elementary, these sounds are heard twice a week.
Are you doing your questions now? Comp questions? The kids have enjoyed Amira. It's different than other programs that we have used. It's not really just the oral reading piece of it, but it's that there is a tutor that goes along with the reading.
The program is used for reading assessments 3 times a year, but this is the first year Mrs. Johnson introduced the Amira Tutor, which these students use an hour a week.
As they are reading, there's somebody that comes along as if they don't know a word, they will help them with that word. So they might break that word down. So it just helps them to have that assistant that's there to help whenever they get stuck.
Find the missing word that matches.
It gives us just an idea about where our kids are, and the program then is going to be able to assess and put them kind of on a pathway, what they need, what skills they're strong in, which skills they need work in. So it will be individualized for them.
It is giving them that distributed practice.
Melissa Algram is the state's Director of Literacy Policy and Programs. She says Oklahoma's had a contract with Amira since 2024.
Do you see this as an instance where that kind of technology may not only improve our reading performance, but our educational outcomes in the long run?
We know that we have a struggle for our most precious resource, which is time. And there are ways that we can get more time for teachers, and that is being able to use the tools that are available to us. And one of those tools is this AI.
Amira is currently in 250 Oklahoma school districts, with classrooms in Bixby, Stillwater, and Piedmont already reporting results.
Would you like to see Amira in every school district?
I would like to see a common assessment in every school district. And at this point, I would say that of the options that we have, Amira has been chosen for a state contract for a reason.
One of those reasons, real-time data outside of typical assessments.
How about we work on being?
And while AI's rapid advancements give some pause,
Excellent reading, good job.
Melissa sees it as a place to start.
I don't think that Amira takes my place, but it is a really great tool for extra practice.
When it comes to building a foundation,
It can get pretty chaotic.
the sounds of extra practice can't be heard enough.
Yabba dabba!
2 eyes on you.
I'm going to use that phrase, by the way.
I love that.
Yeah,
Yabba dabba doo. I love you. All right.
The Amira program, by the way, it's available to all Oklahoma school districts through the State Department of Education. A lot of parents, I think, have had concerns about AI introducing it into the classroom. They're saying, you're collecting data about my child's reading. What happens to that data? The school district says, and the state says, look, we did our due diligence. None of this data is going out anywhere. And even if it did, if there was some sort of security breach, it can't be identified to any particular student and no information. But I think what's interesting about it is that these kids are getting practice and they're getting this feedback in real time. A teacher's working with 20 kids in a classroom. this helps them.
Individual assistance.
It gives them individual assistance when a teacher maybe doesn't have the time to do that.
All in the name of progress.
Exactly.
Right, there we
And-
go.
And reading skills, certainly very important.
I
for
love all
Oklahoma
your education stories.
Oh,
Colby.
thank
really,
you.
really enlightening.
Let's get over to Megan Gold. She's reading some data on the cold front coming in, right?
Yeah, strong cold front blasting through today. We will be nowhere near as warm as we were yesterday. It will be flat out windy today, and that will bring some fire danger to the west. We'll talk all about it. The good news, no severe weather today, and most of the state is dry. We do have some ongoing showers and thunderstorms down in far southern Oklahoma, and as that cold front blasts through, the winds are going to crank on up. We're going to talk about your full 9-day forecast coming up right after this quick break.
Welcome back. All right, our thoughts and focus on Love County down by Marietta after really the Metro dodged a bullet, but the folks in Love County sure didn't.
Yeah, a lot of damage down there.
A lot of damage. They had a severe thunderstorm down there. It was not tornado warned, but it's hearing like we may have tornado damage.
Yeah.
So we'll know more, of course, as we do those damage assessments, and we'll find out exactly what happened. But regardless, there is damage and potentially people hurt. So we'll find out more. I know we have our Kylie Dedmond that will be live for us here in just a few minutes. The Oklahoma City Metro, we really did dodge a bullet, guys. We had 2 weak tornadoes down on the southwest side. This was our Valcaster there, and these storms just really couldn't get going, couldn't really crank out big time rotation and spin, but nonetheless, even weak rotation was able to produce this weak tornado, and a tornado is a tornado. More than likely will be rated an EF0, no structures damaged that we know of, and no injuries, thank goodness. But look at all the dust being pulled up into that storm. This is the storm that went into the heart of Oklahoma Oklahoma City. And I tell you what, after it weakened, it did not produce another tornado as it moved into Oklahoma City. The big deal for most of us was hail. This is from our Tom Pastrano down in Marlow right before 8 o'clock last night. He had golf ball to tennis ball size hail there, and that is never what you want to hear on the roof of your car. So a big hats off to our entire team of storm trackers, our Mason Dunn and Bob Mills Sky News 9 up in the air. Everybody was out covering these storms from head to toe. We'll take you to Links 1. Several more pictures to show you from here in the metro. Northwest 56th in Portland there, hail to the size of tennis balls. We'll say, Jones, you got big time hail as well. Tennis, even maybe an isolated baseball or two. And then just so many pictures coming in of unbelievable cloud structures as you looked at this storm from kind of all different angles, depending upon where you were located. And I tell you what, after last week's tornadoes, Thursday and Friday, we had a preliminary count of 15. We've had surveys on many of those, but those surveys are still being conducted. And when you add the two from last night, that gives us a preliminary count of 17. So right now, we have tied the record from 1991 for March tornadoes. And if we do have that potential for a tornado down in Marietta added to that, we would break the all-time record. Here's the good news. Many spots in Oklahoma picked up rain. Oklahoma City to have rain last night was an amazing sound. Unfortunately, it did come with severe weather, but I tell you what, we need it so very badly in far western Oklahoma. Many spots picked up more than an inch, even 2 inches in the far west out near Sayre and Elk City. Again, it was eastern Oklahoma that was really the bullseye for the 3 to 4 to even isolated 5 inches of rain. Up towards Veneta, about 3 to 4 inches. So taking you back, we had a few thunderstorms during the afternoon that were severe in the northwest, and then the main line came in with that tornado warned storm. It filled in, thunderstorms all the way down towards the Red River, and by the time we got to about 11 o'clock to midnight, everything was pressing off into far eastern Oklahoma and eventually off into Arkansas. But I just want to show you how really extensive this storm system was. We had severe weather from South Texas through, of course, Oklahoma, Kansas, all the way up into the Midwest and the Great Lakes. On the back end of the area of low pressure, we've got snow up across Nebraska and up into the Dakotas this morning. There are ice storm warnings up in Michigan. So severe weather all the way down the line as the cold front is now moving into the state. We've got wind advisories in effect from Oklahoma City off to the west. That cold front is going to drive in very strong winds, and today is a flat out windy day. 61 is our temperature right now. We're in the 50s and 60s here in the metro, 30s and 40s back behind that cold front. And here are your winds right now at about 30 to 35 miles per hour. Earlier this morning, winds were gusting to 50 in the panhandle. So as this cold front continues dropping southward and the sun comes up, I think we'll have more gusts to 40, 45, and maybe 50 miles an hour, and that will give us some fire danger concerns. From the 80s yesterday to the 50s and 60s today, no severe weather risk, no precip in the forecast. Humidity will be low out west, and again, with those strong winds, we'll watch for a moderate fire danger. Tonight, temperatures back below freezing, upper 20s and low 30s. And for tomorrow, a south wind returns, very gusty winds back into the west, but we're back at the 60s and the 70s with sunshine, and that begins another big warm up into your Friday and your Saturday before our next big cold front arrives on Sunday. Sunday and Monday are the coolest days of the next 9, and then we start another big time warm up as we go into the end of the 9-day, guys. March looks to end pretty quiet. No severe threats there on the 9-day. Back over to you.
Megan, thank you. We want to go back to Love County, where many are reporting heavy storm damage in that area.
Yeah, in fact, here's one of the pictures sent in from Stacy Anderson Roach this morning. Heavy damage to a home there. This again near Marietta, where it looks like either high winds or a possible tornado came through there late last night.
Yeah, we know thousands in Love County right now waking up without power this morning. And our Kylie Dedman is there on the way to that scene. Kylie, tell us where you are and how is it looking so far?
Hey, Colby. Yeah, we are getting close to West Creek Street, which is where we are getting reports of the most damage that happened. Now, that's just right off of Interstate I-35, just right to the east of it. Now, some of the damage reports that we are getting and we're hearing about is tons of debris on a Shady Dale, which is between I-35 and Clifton. We're also hearing reports of a possible roof that was ripped off of Lake Country Motel here in Marietta. And then also we're getting reports of the Love County Courthouse having possible damage. You can actually see right in this shot, we just came up to a tree, just limbs kind of down on the ground right here. And this is, again, the area near West Creek Street, again, just kind of right off of I-35 and Highway 77. Now, again, we know that this storm was warned around 9:30 last night for penny-sized hail and winds of more than 60 miles per hour. But, of course, after speaking with, our News 9 meteorologist, the damage in the Marietta area is what we can expect to see of a tornado. Now, we also know that there were multiple vehicles and semi-trucks that were blown over on I-35. We were just traveling on I-35, and that interstate is now back to being fully reopened after it was closed for a long time, many hours all throughout the night. Now, like y'all mentioned, multiple people are without power this morning. After speaking with police, they tell me that there are power lines down all over the city, and that even includes a fiber optic line that crossed Highway 77. So again, this is a live report. Again, just what we're seeing. We just rolled into town, so we'll be getting more information coming to you. But this is some of the information that we've gotten kind of all throughout the night. So we'll keep you updated as we learn more. We're reporting live here in Marietta, Kylie Dudman, Oklahoma's own News 9.
Kylie, thank you. She's going to keep driving around looking for damage, and you can contact the newsroom if you know where that damage is in Marietta. We're just showing you kind of a wide view right now. We'll be right back. You're watching News 9 this morning.
Yeah, that's the courthouse right here. Should I tell them to roll? This is right across from the county courthouse. It looks like it's the county building center. It's right off of, yeah. It's a building supply store. It's right off of Chickasha Street and South 4th Avenue.
Main, say Main.
Oh. Okay, it's Maine.
Welcome back. Closing in on 5:30 on our Wednesday morning. We're getting some now damage pictures live. We're down in Love County near Marietta this morning, hearing of some more damage. Our crew is there. I don't know if we can take the picture from Kylie right now. It looks like the building supply roof has been toppled over. We are able to see it. I don't know if we can just take it to our Megan. I know. Are you going to talk about that as we come to you?
I wasn't, but I can.
Okay.
So there was a severe thunderstorm warning down in Marietta, and we have heard reports of the potential of injuries, and then also that the damage is more extensive than what you would expect from a severe thunderstorm. So we'll know more as damage surveys are conducted. We don't want to jump to conclusions, but again, it is very possible that there was some rotation and potentially a brief spin up. We'll talk to our Kylie Deadman coming up. The good news here on your Wednesday morning, no severe weather in the state. There is some rain down to the south and east, and a cold front blasts through today. Flat out windy and much cooler. We'll talk more about what happened last night and the rest of your 9-day forecast. Any more severe weather chances that's coming up.
Yeah, still to come. People in Love County, look at this, waking up to no power and storm damage. This is that shot, the building supply on Main Street, right across from the county courthouse there in Marietta. So we're finding storm damage as we drive around on this Wednesday morning. More coverage right after this.
Yeah, I mean, we're just driving around trying to see the most visual stuff. Okay. I mean, if you want to keep doing just bump shots of dash cam, then see stuff coming up, but like full reporter outside hit is going to be some time. Yeah, I think so, because we don't know, like, haven't found, like, yeah, I mean, yeah, we don't have time.
watching Oklahoma's own News 9 this morning.
At 5:30, our big story this morning, the tornado-warned storms that moved through the state last night. We're going to check in on those damage reports shortly, including some reports of damage down in Love County. But first, here's some other top stories we're watching this morning. Police say a motorcyclist is dead after a multi-vehicle crash on the northwest side of Oklahoma City. Officers say that motorcycle crashed with 2 other cars just before that storm rolled in last night. This was on the Northwest Expressway right near May. So far, no names have been released.
26 years, 2 months, and 11 days later, then the girls disappeared, but people still know who Lauren Ashley were. So I've done my job.
The pain never goes away. Investigators wrapping up day 2 of their new search for the remains of Laura Bible and Ashley Freeman in northeast Oklahoma. Investigators believe the girls were kidnapped and killed back in Welch in 1999, but they've never been found. Yesterday, authorities looked through debris pulled up from a mine shaft in Kansas.
And the Oklahoma Highway Patrol is warning you of a text scam making the rounds right now. A text you'll get on your phone says you need to pay the Department of Public Safety for a traffic violation so your driver's license does not get suspended. Troopers say DPS never collects fines or contacts people through a text message. My friend texted me and said, hey, this is going around, and then my phone dinged. I got one too. A lot of folks have got it. Again, remember, it is a scam. As you're waking up on a Wednesday morning, it is back to the big story, the tornado-warned storms that moved through the state last night. Look at those ominous clouds. Our Bob Mills Sky News 9 watching the storm. This was over as it was making its way from the west into the downtown Oklahoma City area. Good thing that never did drop down in the metro.
It was scary, though.
Sure was. We have team coverage this morning. Our Kylie Deadman live in Marietta in South Oklahoma, where residents are reporting heavy storm damage.
She found some damage on Main Street close to the county courthouse. She's looking around right now. Right now, though, we do want to check in with meteorologist Megan Gold in the Bob Mills Weather Center. A lot of reports of damage. It was a wild night, Megan.
Night, and we'll start here by showing you video from our Vilecaster. This was one of 2 tornadoes that touched down near the Tuttle area, really right on the Grady-Canadian County line. These were very weak tornadoes, but still a tornado nonetheless. Grateful for no reports of any damage or any injuries. And the cone up top, you had the dust being pulled up from that rotation. The spin was very weak, and these will probably be rated EF0s, but guys, that adds 2 more tornadoes to our count for March, and now preliminary count of 17 tornadoes. That ties us for the all-time March record. We'll take you to Links 1 and show you where these tornadoes were down on the southwest side, couple miles to the northwest of Tuttle, and then it was all about the hail for the Oklahoma City Metro. We're grateful that mesocyclone, that supercell, or that rotating thunderstorm weakened as it came into the heart of downtown Oklahoma City, and we did not have a tornado in Oklahoma City. So the storm went severe over Gracemont. Watch what happens. It splits into 2 different storms. This is the left mover and the right mover. And your right mover is the one that you watch to produce a tornado. There's your hook. And folks in Mustang were in their shelters. The sirens were sounding, and that thing was tornado warned as it went all the way through the metro. And it eventually pressed off to the east with more severe weather across eastern Oklahoma this morning. A few showers and thunderstorms still continue down to the south, but guess what? No severe weather for today. Grateful for that. 61 is our temperature right now with a breezy south wind, and a cold front is blasting through 30s and 40s up to the north. Winds have gusted as high as 40 to 50, and those winds will only spread eastward as the morning progresses. We'll talk more about the rest of your 9-day, the rest of your Wednesday. It's coming up, guys.
And team coverage now as we go back to the storm damage from Love County, where many people have reported heavy storm damage in the area.
Look at your screen. This is actually a photo of a home destroyed in Marietta.
We know thousands in Love County this morning are waking up without power. Our Kylie Deadman joins us live from Marietta this morning with the latest. Kylie.
Hey, Colby. Yeah, speaking of power, we know that there's more than 2,000 people without power this morning. And there's power lines down all over the city. We actually have this shot right here. This is on Highway 77, which is parallel to Interstate 35. It's just east of it. We also know that a fiber optic line here across this area as well. So it's power lines, it's fiber optic. Power is back on and turned on maybe 5 minutes or so ago in this general area. But yeah, you can see cones are kind of in the road just to warn drivers, but you can see the line going all the way down, crossing Highway 77, and then going into the Easy Mart, which was an area that did not have power. But again, power is coming back on to this area. But this is something that police told me. We just talked to the sheriff's office and police, and they were saying the most debris is kind of just in the roadways and just wanting people to avoid kind of just areas all over town because power lines are down all over the city. And then, of course, there's this debris right here all over the city as well. I did just ask one of the sheriffs, one of the deputies, I was like, any injuries, anything of the sort? And he's saying that he doesn't know of any at this time. So we'll keep you updated as we learn more and as we kind of just drive around town. But we are getting reports of roofs being collapsed. We've seen some already. So here's just more information for you, just more reports of some of these structures that have been damaged. So we'll be driving around, keeping you updated, and of course, keeping you updated on any injuries that happened last night, storms as well. So here live in Marietta, Kylie Dudsman, Oklahoma's own News 9.
Kylie, thank you. That was just a couple of the many areas they've already seen damage in this morning. Remember, just 2 years after the town was hit by an EF4 tornado. So we'll keep you updated. We're going to check back in with Kylie later. You can find the latest right here and over on the News 9 app.
In Northeast Oklahoma, volunteers are just starting to help clean up in Beggs after an EF3 tornado tore through the town, killing 2 people, a couple, and destroying the Beggs Middle School building.
And we know the volunteers with the Lutheran Disaster Response Team coming from all over the country to Oklahoma to help in the pickup of the debris. They even helped with storm victims down in Moore.
As soon as they see somebody within a day or two showing up, they kind of feel, okay, things are going to get back to normal now.
Okmulgee County Emergency Management says it still needs volunteers to help clean up storm debris. They also need fencing supplies because many of the people affected from the storms that barreled through there have livestock.
We're excited for Senator Mullen and now Secretary Mullen, really pumped about him getting that promotion, working with President Trump, and we'll find a great Oklahoman, I know, to sit in that seat for till the end of the year.
The other big story we're following this morning, we're heading into a big week for Oklahoma as Governor Kevin Stitt continues to decide who he will appoint, that is, to fill Markwayne Mullin's U.S. Senate seat.
Yeah, we're hoping a name should be dropping anytime soon. We're watching for that. News 9 has that much of the developments that could emerge today or tomorrow. Matt McCabe shows us what is ahead.
Just a couple days after an actual shortlist emerged of names under consideration for Governor Kevin Stitt's appointment to fill Markwayne Mullin's Senate seat, Stitt himself is heading to Washington. On Tuesday, the State Chamber of Commerce told News 9 that Stitt had canceled his appearance at the evening's legislative dinner to accommodate his travel plans to the nation's capital. Originally, the chamber also said, and News 9 reported, that a meeting with President Donald Trump was part of Stitt's plan while in town. But they later retracted that statement and said it could not confirm those details. However, 4 other sources familiar with the plans confirmed Stitt will travel to D.C. and that he plans to be on Capitol Hill on Thursday, meeting with members of the state's congressional delegation. Stitt's press secretary told News 9 that the governor was not meeting with the president on Tuesday night, but did not address the reports that Stitt is heading to D.C. and what for. An internal email leaked to News 9 and a source familiar with the matter also confirmed that U.S. Representative Kevin Hern is set to officially announce his bid to enter the Senate race on Wednesday. Republican strategists nationally and locally have also speculated that Stitt himself could enter the race, possibly running against Hern, but Stitt has not formally announced any plans. In Oklahoma City, Matt McCabe, Oklahoma's own News 9.
Mills Arena Cam this morning. This is the site of the new downtown billion-dollar Thunder Arena. City crews still removing the final concrete slabs. Over 100 loads of debris a day to prepare for the site of construction. By the way, that new arena is set to open by later this summer. And as you can tell, Sheridan is open in those westbound lanes. I was so pumped yesterday leaving our building that I went west. I actually needed to go east, but I was so excited to drive westbound that I just took it anyway. Yeah.
So the arena opens in 2 years.
Yeah, the summer of 2028.
There
you go. We're watching the weather for you today and kind of recapping what happened last night. Megan Gold in the Bob Mills Weather Center. Good morning, Megan.
Good morning. It was a wild night. So many folks in the Oklahoma City metro took shelter in their safe places and their storm shelters. We had a lot of hail from Nichols Hills to the Village, down to the south side and the east side, out towards Jones. And here at 5:40 on your Wednesday morning, all of those severe storms are here no longer, with light rain down in southeastern Oklahoma, a little cloud cover overhead, very mild. We can call it warm out the door. 61 is our temperature, and a cold front blasts through today, bringing a big cool down. We'll talk about how cool temperatures get, and when we warm it back up, what about severe weather? Your 9 days coming up.
Taking a live look on our Lucky Star Skycam network this morning, a new road closure could be causing chaos for Yukon drivers today. We've got you covered. Your traffic report next on News 9.
Boy, that storm rolled right through the heart of the metro, and now we're getting in a lot of pictures, a lot of hail damage. These pictures coming in from the Jones area.
That's actually a dog carrier that broke through with a hailstone, yet no dogs were in it at the time, luckily. But look how big these are.
Yeah, some quarter size, some tennis ball size hail that we saw from some of our viewers. That's even in the shape of a heart. No love from the hail, though, for sure.
Oklahoma.
Oh man, here's some other ones, and just kind of comparing the hails. And boy, when you get those jagged car, your home, your brush, your shrubs, anything.
It sounds like in the metro, hail was the biggest threat.
Hail was the big deal, and it goes to show how strong these storms were. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we gotcha.
Okay, really strong updraft. So that's how you get that really large hail. And these storms they packed a big punch.
Yeah.
We were so grateful though that we had the 2 weak tornadoes down on the southwest side, and then as things came through the metro, we did not have a tornado produced because that would have been kind of worst case scenario.
We dodged a bullet.
In the heart of Oklahoma City.
We really did dodge a bullet in the metro area, heading right towards the fairgrounds, the downtown area. So many people. It really is a miracle.
And grateful that people heeded the warnings, did what they needed to do to get home.
Yeah, we were in the cellar several times. It was one of those, like, the sirens came on, we went out there. Like, okay, the sirens went off, we can leave. No. One more time. It was, I think, 4 or 5 times the sirens went off in downtown Oklahoma City. Wow. So yeah, it was wild.
Well, I didn't get any sirens in my house. I felt a little left out, but I'm happy for you. So
yeah, get in on the fun, Megan. It was so much fun.
I trust me, I had a lot of fun myself. So hey, it was a big night. We had a lot of hail. We did have the 2 weak tornadoes down on the southwest side, and just to take you back to show you some video, we had our entire team of storm trackers out. We had our Mason Dunn and Bob Mills Sky News 9 up in the air. And we'll listen in here. This is our Valcaster.
Circulation right underneath it. We are in strong southwest winds where we're at. We have strong RFD right at our location. And that dust, that area of dust is slowly rotating.
So this is one of our weak tornadoes down on the southwest side near Tuttle. And you can see the cone shape higher up, and it was pulling in dust with it. It was weak rotation. We're grateful, no reports of any damage or any injuries. But again, a tornado is a tornado. We will add that to the count. So let's go ahead and take it to Links 1. More pictures to show you of hail. Jones, you got big hail along with here in the Oklahoma City Metro, Integris Baptist there on Northwest Expressway, hail up to the size of golf balls. And we do still have several thousand without power this morning down in southern Oklahoma. We've been talking about Marietta in Love County, 2,000 without power, 500 in Murray County, and then several hundred up in northeastern and off into eastern Oklahoma, and maybe a few spotty power outages here in the metro. I know I had a friend that lost power over by Lake Hefner last night. So very possible. Look how potent this storm system is. So you've got winter weather back on the back end, ice storm warnings up across Michigan, and winter storm warnings in Wisconsin. And we had severe weather essentially all the way down the line from the Midwest all the way through, let's see, Missouri, down into Kansas, Arkansas, here in Oklahoma, and down into Texas. So it's been a big deal, that's for sure. As we mentioned, hail was really the primary threat, especially up on the north side, Nichols Hills to the Village, out to the west side, really along I-40. And that's where that storm came right through. There are your 2 tornadoes down, really right along the Grady-Canadian County line. And if we add these 2 tornadoes to our 15 preliminary tornadoes from last Thursday and Friday, we would tie the record from 1991 of March tornadoes. And the way it looks right now, it doesn't look like we have much more in the way of severe weather for the rest of the month, but that can always change. So we'll see. We'll talk more about it here in just a second. So let's walk through on Next Gen when this storm came through the metro. Here's your supercell, your rotating thunderstorm over Gracemont. It went severe, and then it split into 2 separate storms. And it was the right storm that came right down I-40, produced those 2 tornadoes down on the southwest side. Mustang, the sirens were sounding. There's your hook. And this thing, again, did not produce a tornado as it came into Oklahoma City, but it was tornado warned all the way through. And there's that hail swath from Union City up to Yukon to Bethany over to Spencer and to Jones, and really down on the south side, no big hail. So during the overnight hours, everything pressed off to the east and the rain down to the south right now. This is a live look on our Lucky Stars Skycam network. 61 is our temperature. We're in the 50s and 60s out the door, 30s and 40s back behind the cold front. And as that cold front blasts through, our winds will gust 40 40 to 45 miles per hour today, which means fire danger will be elevated out in the west. Highs today from the 80s yesterday to the 50s and 60s today. Your full 9-day forecast here. We start another warm up Thursday, Friday into Saturday before our next cold front hits.
All right, the big story this morning, the day after the storms and heavy damage down near Marietta and Love County. Many people reporting heavy storm damage in that area.
We're still hearing thousands are without power.
Yeah, our Kylie Dedman is there. She's been there all morning. Kylie, you guys have seen a lot of damage. What's the latest from Marietta?
Hey guys, yeah, we've seen a lot of damage all over the area. We've seen from down power lines to fiber optic lines, just other debris. And I want to take you here. We are right off of Bell Street, which is just right in between I-35 and Highway 77, where there's been reports and we can see the damage of a roof collapse here at the apartment complex. You can see some of the siding off. You can see things just kind of like dangling down, tree limbs down, and then it's just widespread damage from the roof and then siding. There's also a satellite dish over here, so it's just nonstop damage in this area, which again, this is reports of one of the roofs being down. You can kind of see this right over here, the satellite dish kind of just knocked on the ground. Now, as you can see, there's just widespread, even kind of, Steven, if you don't mind just kind of painting it, it's very, very hard to see, but just down that way, just more damage. You can see just a tree just kind of like split in half basically down there. It's just really widespread in this area. We're still getting reports. I talked to one of the deputies in the area whenever we passed by them, and he said that at this time he doesn't know of any fatalities, which is good news right there. We hope that it stays that way, but we are still working to learn of any injuries. We have heard that there has been some injuries of people just having like broken bones. But of course, broken bones is so much better than any fatality. So again, we'll keep you updated, but this is just one of the many places in Marietta that has just widespread damage. Again, we know that the roofs collapsed here. We've also seen some of the siding off, and then just other places we've seen in the area have houses. Some of their roofs have been off. So just widespread damage all over Marietta. Of course, there's power lines all over the roadway. So if you're going to be driving in this area, definitely just take it nice and slow and be cautious of where you are driving. But just wanted to take you out here to one of the apartment complex. Again, this is on Bell Street, right in between Highway 77 and Interstate 35. That, as you can see, roofs have come off in this area. So we'll keep you updated from what is possibly tornado damage. Again, we're still working to learn that confirmation. So we'll keep you updated on that. Reporting live here in Marietta, Kylie Dedman, Oklahoma's own News 9.
Kylie, thank you. I know she's been reaching out to the sheriff and to emergency management. We're hearing about semi-trucks that were blown over, so we'll continue to follow the latest from Marietta. Right now, back here in the metro, we have a traffic alert for Yukon drivers. ODOT closing eastbound I-40. This is the ramp right to Garth Brooks Boulevard, starting at 9 this morning. This is all for striping. Crews plan to reopen it, though, tomorrow afternoon. In the meantime, plan an alternate route. We'll be back right after this. Ahead here at 6, people in Love County waking up with no power and extensive storm damage, including the roof ripped off an apartment complex. We'll have the latest from Kylie ahead.
Head nod at the top of the 6, live at 6:03, and then we'll live again at 6:50. So we'll do a scene bump at 6:26. There's a car coming. Mic check 1 2, mic check 1 2, Kylie Dudman, mic check 1 2, 1 2, Kylie Dudman. Mic check, 1 2. Thank you. I don't know, but I'm wanting to talk to them. So I hope it doesn't leave. Okay, this is just a head nod. No, don't leave, don't leave, don't leave, don't leave. Please don't leave. Okay.
Live from downtown Oklahoma City, Oklahoma's own News 9 starts now.
Classic supercell, big scream and eagle hook.
The hook is moving right over downtown Oklahoma City. It's been a long time since we've had one take this exact path.
Hundreds of thousands of homes and businesses in here, and cars.
This storm is looking a little meaner than it was earlier.
It's actually picking up dirt, and it's pulling into the storm.
That dust, that area of dust is slowly rotating.
There it is, confirmed tornado. We had it right here live on News 9.
High school championships are going on. They actually stopped the game that was happening at the OG Coliseum.
This will go down as a multi-million-dollar hailstorm.
Good morning, and that is the latest severe weather across the metro. Glad you're with us here at 6 a.m.
We are watching and seeing reports of damage. We're live in Marietta down in Love County. That community appears to be hit hard. Kylie Dedman is there. You see her with damage behind her. We're going to talk with Kylie coming up from Love County in just a moment.
We do have thousands of power outages this morning, most in South Oklahoma. Let's get over to Megan Gold in the Bob Mills Weather Center. It was a wild night, Megan.
It was. As this storm rolled right through the Oklahoma City metro, tornado warned all the way through. As Lacey mentioned, that hook right on top of downtown. And here was one of 2 confirmed tornadoes from our Valcaster just to the northwest of Tuttle. There's the cone shape up kind of higher up off the ground, and look at all the dirt and kind of the weak rotation. It was a weak one, but it was a tornado nonetheless. So after last Thursday, Friday, and last night, the preliminary tornado count of 17. Let me take you to Lynx 1, and actually we've got video here from our Bob Mills Sky News 9 and Mason Dunn up in the air. So we were tracking these storms from the ground, from the air, and these clouds were just so very ominous. We were grateful we did not have a tornado touch down in Oklahoma City. To Lynx 1 now to show you that the bulk of the metro saw hail. Again, those 2 tornadoes down on the southwest side, but a multi-million-dollar hailstorm from Nichols Hills, the Village, back down towards Oklahoma City. And just to show you the loop, as the supercell went up over Gracemont and then kind of split up to the north, and then the right mover produced that tornado down on the southwest side. There's your classic hook, the Screaming Eagle, as David likes to call it. And it was tornado warned all the way through before weakening. And this storm has been really one that has been thousands of miles long from Texas all the way up into the Midwest, where we had tornadoes near the Chicago area, down into Indiana, and again back here at home. Now here on your Wednesday morning, a cold front is coming through, and today will be a much cooler day. 30s and 40s to the northwest. Out ahead of it, 50s and 60s, and winds will be very strong. Back behind that front, we'll have gusts to 40, 45, and maybe even 50 miles per hour. That cranks up the fire danger. And guess what? Most of the state totally dry this morning. A few showers down to the south. We'll talk more about your forecast coming up, guys. Back over to you.
And now the fallout from the storm in the metro. A lot of hail damage we'll show you in a moment. But far south Oklahoma and Love County by Marietta, lots of heavy storm damage. We know 3 semis overturned on I-35. One home you see right here destroyed. Kylie Dedman is in Marietta this morning surveying the damage. Kylie, where are you? What's it look like there in Marietta?
Robin, Marietta took a direct hit of what could be a possible tornado damage. I'm here on Bell Street, where residents in this area are waking up to their roof of their apartment ripped off. You can see behind me, this is a roof. We've seen a satellite dish also on the ground, and then we've also seen some siding. Now this is stretched all in this area. We've also seen tree limbs down, a tree just completely wiped out on the ground, big old tree. So huge damage, extensive damage that came through this area. And if you could just follow me this way just really quickly to kind of show you, so you can see that power is on in this area. And then it even took over, so not even just in these nearby buildings, but even on the other side, you can see up near that roof area, siding has also come off on other ends of this apartment complex. So residents waking up to siding being off and their roofs kind of being collapsed and off the ground. So extensive damage here in Marietta. And then I also just want to show you this. This is a broken windshield. So another thing that unfortunate residents are going to be waking up to is not just where they're living damage, but also unfortunately car damage as well. Just completely shattered back windshield right here. So a lot of heavy damage. We know that there are tons of power lines and debris all over the roads here in Marietta. I was speaking with some of the police officers and some of the deputies, and they just want people to take it nice and slow when traveling in this area, because again, power lines, we saw fiber optic line down, and then of course just tons of debris like you're seeing here all over the roadways, all over Marietta. So again, if you're going to be in this area, be safe and just watch out again. Now, we haven't heard of any reports of any fatalities, so that's great news right there. But we are unfortunately hearing reports of injuries, so we'll keep you updated as we learn more. We'll be scattering around and going through and finding more reports of damage. But just wanted to show you something that we're seeing here, and unfortunately something residents are going to now be having to deal with here in Marietta. Reporting live here in Love County, kind of right off of Bell Street in between I-35 and Highway 77. Kylie Dedman, Oklahoma's own News 9.
Boy, it's a small community there in Marietta. About 2,800 folks live there, more than 2,000 customers without power this morning. Kylie, I know you're continuing to survey the damage there in Marietta. As we bring you back here to the metro, look at these ominous clouds that we're barreling through, and this was right over the state fairgrounds, close to I-40, I-44 last night, and guess what? Thousands of folks were gathered because it's the big house, the big state basketball tournaments. They actually had to stop the state games right now. Look at everyone thinking, hey, where do we go? This was also the Youth Expo that was underway. These folks actually had to go down into the bathrooms that are shelters there at the new OG&E Coliseum. The games were put on hold after the storm passed through. Everything was given the all clear, and the basketball games then resumed at the fairgrounds.
In northwest Oklahoma City, fire crews are investigating an overnight apartment fire as possible arson. They say someone may have set this on purpose. This was around 2 o'clock this morning at Northwest Expressway and Rockwell. Crews tell us they actually had the wrong address at first, but a resident pointed them in the right direction, and they were able to contain the flames to just one apartment unit.
There's 3 or 4 different spots where we had some evidence of fire starting. So at this time, we don't really have a suspect or anything like that, but we'll be investigating.
No one was injured. Crews say the fire caused about $10,000 in damage. Your time now 6:07. A quick check of your morning traffic as you head out the door this morning. This is a live look from our news tracker, Lex Stanfield. He is looking at the Broadway extension close to Northwest 16th. He says traffic is starting to pick up on this Wednesday. Everything looks good where he is. We'll check some more cameras in the next 10 minutes.
This weekend, the Fairview community will come together to remember a mother and daughter killed in last week's tornadoes. Loved ones tell us that Jody, a mother of 8, and 13-year-old Lexi Owens were on the road last Thursday when a tornado hit their van. This Saturday, the public is invited to their celebration of life at Cedar Springs Church of the Nazarene in Fairview. It'll start at 1 p.m. Meanwhile, fundraising efforts have surpassed $100,000 to help their family with future costs. In Northeast Oklahoma, the Beggs Middle School building is now closed for the rest of the school year. Students are going to have to find somewhere else to learn. This is all after severe storm damage. That school was one of multiple buildings that was damaged in Friday's tornadoes. District leaders say that the tornado damaged the gym, the cafeteria, classrooms. I mean, you can see it right here in this video. Most of the buses were damaged too.
So when the kids come back, they'll still be learning, just in a different building, is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
It's going to take a lot to repair.
Spring break next week.
March 23rd.
Yeah, there you go. So, all right, we'll be following that. A lot of folks in the storm cellars when those storms came across the metro. Megan, before you go, how are we looking on a Wednesday morning?
No severe threats today, guys, and really on the 9-day, it is very, very quiet. And I think that is what most of us are ready for. It has been quite the start to March, above normal temperatures. Last Thursday, Friday, rounds of severe weather, and then, of course, last night, as you're waking up, 6:09 here, we are dry, mostly statewide. A few showers down in the south and east. There's a live look on our Lucky Star Skycam network, our Mathis home camera, and the cold front hits Oklahoma City this morning. Winds start to crank up. We'll talk about your Wednesday forecast. It's coming up.
Did you authorize the raises? So they just kind of fell out of the sky. Like it just fell out of the sky with a pen to authorize raises, and you didn't authorize it.
I tell you, heated moments at the Oklahoma County Jail Trust meeting. Who authorized the pay raises? We still don't know this morning. We're talking about it. More on the pay raise pushback next. Well, the bus stop forecast on the morning after those wild storms. Megan, how are we faring right now?
We're totally dry. No severe weather chances today, which is great. This time yesterday, we were talking that we had the ingredients for wind, hail, and tornadoes, and we were worried about the evening commute. Those storms went up 4, 5, 6 o'clock, but nothing like that today. So for the bus stop for the kids, today will be cooler, so do not dress them for summertime. Highs in the 50s and 60s and a strong north wind coming in with that cold front, and the wind will make it feel even chillier. So get ready for big changes today, and then tomorrow we will start a warm-up. What a month it has been so far. We are, 11 days in here, and last Thursday and Friday we had rounds of severe weather, and then last night, and our preliminary tornado count is 17. That ties the record from 1991. Remember, that number can change. It can go down or it can go up, and we're still getting information from the damage assessments that are ongoing right now, and especially with the severe weather yesterday, kind of put a hold on things. But we are sitting at the third warmest start to March on record. A high temperature of 85 degrees yesterday, a high of 60 degrees today, so 25 degrees cooler. So what a month it's been. Last night, again, we did have that round of severe weather. If you're just now joining us, I want to start by showing you video of one of those tornadoes that our Valcaster was on here just to the northwest of Tuttle. You can see the cone shape, the higher up kind of off the ground, and then very weak rotation. The rotation and the spin wasn't all that fast, but it was picking up dust, and that's what you're seeing there at the base of that funnel, and this will more than likely go down as an EF0. No reports of damage and no injuries, and we sure are grateful for that. Now here on your Wednesday morning, we have our Kylie Deadman and Stephen Owsley down in far southern Oklahoma in Love County, and they are in Marietta this morning. And there was a severe thunderstorm that rolled through Marietta yesterday evening around 9:30. So it was a severe storm for damaging winds, for some hail. But this morning there are reports of tornado-like damage. So we will not know the extent of the damage until the sun comes up, hearing that there may be some injuries as well. So we're thinking about all of those folks, and that's why we have our Kylie Deadman down there. Another report from her coming up here in just a minute. So let's jump back to Lynx 1. The two tornadoes down on the southwest side, but for most of the metro, it was all about the hail. And just to show you how big this storm system has been, there's the area of low pressure, and along that cold front, we had tornado watches, tornado warnings all the way from the Midwest down through Arkansas, of course here in Oklahoma, and down into Texas. On the back end, there is snow. Winter storm warnings in Wisconsin, ice storm warnings up in Michigan, and for us here at home, we're not dealing with any winter weather. So let me walk you through next gen when that tornado warning went out. So it started as a supercell, which is just a rotating thunderstorm over Gracemont, and it started to get that kind of hook feature as it came up towards Tuttle. And what happened was it split into two separate storms. So we had one storm that was headed to the north, the left storm, and then the right mover. And the right mover is the one that you watch for a tornado threat. There's that hook feature, the screaming eagle that you hear David talk about so often there with that shape. And that's when it produced. And we did have that confirmed tornado because our Valcaster was there on the ground. That thing was tornado warned all the way through Oklahoma City. But after it produced those two tornadoes, it did not produce another one in Oklahoma City. And we sure are grateful for that because that could have been worst case scenario. Again, the big deal all about the hail. This is the hail swath, just showing you where that hail fell from Union City up to the outlet shops, Bethany, the Village, over to Nichols Hills, Spencer, Jones, and then Edmond over to Deer Creek, Piedmont. You all didn't really get in on any of the hail. So we had the spinning and the tornado warned storm down on the southwest side, and then the hail farther to the north. There are a couple thousand without power this morning. Again, down in Love County, 2,000 without power. Here's the live look from our downtown camera, part of our Lucky Star Skycam network. 59 is our temperature right now, and that is essentially as warm as we will be all day long. Cold air is coming in from the northwest. There's your cold front for today. 30s and 40s, and those north winds are rushing in with gusts 30 to 35, and that wind field will expand to the east as we go through the morning and into the afternoon. Very windy, 50s and 60s, no 80s today, but no severe weather and no chances for rain. There will be some fire fire danger out to the west today with low humidity and the strong winds. Tonight we fall back below freezing, upper 20s and low 30s. And then tomorrow we turn a corner. South winds are back and we're back to the 60s and the 70s. Very warm for your Friday into your Saturday. Our next front hits and your Sunday into Monday, much cooler. And guys, there is not a single chance for severe weather on that 9-day. Back over to you.
Megan, thank you. When it comes to improving Oklahoma's educational outcomes, most of the solutions right now are focused on reading. Some Oklahoma schools are now using AI to gauge and guide students through reading skills in real time. We were able to take a look at how things work in this morning's Educate Oklahoma.
It doesn't take much to read the room. These are the sounds of modern learning.
Repeat after me. Captions.
Captions.
This is Amira, cutting through the noise.
Let's learn about this word with rhymes.
Artificial intelligence built to bring real results. Into Melissa Johnson's first grade class at Piedmont Elementary, these sounds are heard twice a week.
Are you doing your questions now? Comp questions? The kids have enjoyed Amira. It's different than other programs that we have used. It's not really just the oral reading piece of it, but it's that there is a tutor that goes along with the reading.
The program is used for reading assessments 3 times a year, but this is the first year Mrs. Johnson introduced the Amira Tutor, which these students use an hour a week.
As they are reading, there's somebody that comes along as if they don't know a word, they will help them with that word. So they might break that word down. So it just helps them to have that assistant that's there to help whenever they get stuck.
Find the missing word that matches.
It gives us just an idea about where our kids are, and the program then is going to be able to assess and put them kind of on a pathway, what they need, what skills they're strong in, which skills they need work in. So it will be individualized for them.
It is giving them that distributed practice.
Melissa Algram is the state's Director of Literacy Policy and Programs. She says Oklahoma's had a contract with Amira since 2024.
Do you see this as an instance where that kind of technology may not only improve our reading performance, but our educational outcomes in the long run?
We know that we have a struggle for our most precious resource, which is time. And there are ways that we can get more time for teachers, and that is being able to use the tools that are available to us. And one of those tools is this AI.
Amira is currently in 250 Oklahoma school districts, with classrooms in Bixby, Stillwater, and Piedmont already reporting results.
Would you like to see Amira in every school district?
I would like to see a common assessment in every school district. And at this point, I would say that of the options that we have, Amira has been chosen for a state contract for a reason.
One of those reasons, real-time data outside of typical assessments.
How about we work on being?
And while AI's rapid advancements give some pause,
Excellent reading, good job.
Melissa sees it as a place to start.
I don't think that Amira takes my place, but it is a really great tool for extra practice.
When it comes to building a foundation,
It can get pretty chaotic.
the sounds of extra practice can't be heard enough.
Yabba dabba!
Eyes on you!
And the Amira program is available to all Oklahoma schools right now through the State Department of Education.
All right, your time now is 6:21. I want to take you live this morning. We're kind of in team coverage of storm damage, and our crews in Marietta this morning found a very badly damaged house from storms last night. They are in town right at 6th Street and Creek, kind of just south of Main Street. This home had a lot of damage to the garage, to the roof, and there are building materials kind of scattered around the home. So a lot of damage there in Marietta. Kind of widespread. It's one of many scenes they've shown us this morning. We'll have more right after this.
Got to show you the hail right in the heart of the metro. This is from D.D. Kirkland Elementary, right close to Northwest Expressway in Independence.
Whoa.
The hail interrupted the parent-teacher conference. Can you imagine if you were the parent?
Perfect timing.
Yeah, your son is, I can't hear it.
Yeah. Oh, never mind.
Thanks to the principal there, Ashley Hoggett, sending us the video there. But I mean, kind of right in the heart of the afternoon.
Dang.
That hail came down hard in the metro, and that's what's going to be part of the story here in the metro this morning.
A lot of these videos, Megan, coming in this morning.
So can you guys hear me? There we go. So many videos, so many pictures, guys. And of course, a big hats off to our entire team of storm trackers, Hank Brown, Brandon Pennell. We had Bob Mills, Sky News 9 up in the air with Mason Dunn, and really the whole team, a whole team effort to cover these storms yesterday. And check out this video here with that thunderstorm, that supercell right on top of Oklahoma City, that area of rotation, and the rain curtains kind of keeping us from really being able to see that sunset. So we'll take you to Links 1 and show you some of the hail that fell again here in the Oklahoma City metro. Golf ball to tennis ball size hail. And today, cold front hits temperatures from the 80s yesterday to about 60 degrees this afternoon with a strong north wind. We'll talk all about your forecast coming up right after this quick break. Don't go anywhere.
watching Oklahoma's own News 9 This Morning.
6:30, want to take you live to Marietta. Our crews are assessing storm damage from last night. And what you're seeing right here, just hang with us. We know that firefighters and police are out right now investigating a possible gas leak. And as we zoom in, also, that's a power line that is sparking. So we have about 2,000 power outages. Look at the smoke right there. In Marietta, also the smell of gas in the area. So a very serious situation after a possible tornado, at least very strong winds touched down there last night. And as people get out, wake up and assess the damage, they got a lot of problems they're dealing with. Power outages, sparking power lines, the smell of gas, and a lot of damage to homes.
You're looking live. This is right off 7th Street and Creek there in Marietta, right really kind of close to Main Street. Just kind of some of the damage from the emergency manager there. There were 3 semis that overturned on I-35. One home had the garage basically blown off right near this area. Multiple roofs gone, and now possible gas leak in the area.
Yeah, our Kylie Dedman is right there by that home where that happened, and now we're seeing firefighters, we see police out there, and they're hearing the buzzing of those power lines right now in the trees.
I don't know if we can even zoom out where we can see the authorities that are there. If our Stephen Owsley, our news tracker, could just even pan back out, we can see all the law enforcement and emergency teams that are there. This is really kind of, Lacey, kind of close to the heart of Main Street.
Oh, this is just south of Main Street, absolutely. So this is in Marietta, and a lot of damage. We're hearing about some possible injuries, no fatalities, thank goodness, but more problems are popping up as people wake up and start assessing the damage to their property. And also, again, our crews are smelling gas in the area, the gas leak, and sparking power lines.
That might possibly be the homeowner there. Again, lest we forget, Marietta hit with an EF4 just 2 years ago, now dealing with damage again this morning. Small community from those storms that rolled through overnight. Really one of the areas that we're seeing that had the most damage, but we've got damage all over the metro. Let's turn to Megan Gold. As those storms rolled through last night, certainly very tense moments for a lot of Oklahoma City residents as well, Megan.
For sure, guys. A tornado-warned storm that did produce 2 tornadoes down on the southwest side. This is video from our Valcaster, and these were weak tornadoes. They really didn't get going, which was good news because they rolled right into Oklahoma City, and we know so many of you at home were sheltering in place, in your safe place, in your storm shelters, and we're so grateful that everybody's okay. No damage and no injuries from these brief and weak tornadoes. They were on the ground for less than a minute, probably about 30 seconds. Now, back down in Marietta, what we don't know is exactly what caused that damage, and we don't want to speculate. A tornado, straight line wind damage, but regardless, there is damage. So damage surveys will be conducted, and we'll know a little bit more. But there are your 2 tornadoes down on the southwest side. But for the bulk of the metro, it was all about the hail, and we know that there will be millions of dollars in damage when it comes to the hail that fell across the metro, golf ball to even tennis ball size hail. Remember back in January, we tied the record for the most January tornadoes at 5. We can get tornadoes all months of the year. We had 2 last night, and we had a preliminary count of 15 from last week. So that gives us a preliminary count of 17. And if that becomes final, we will tie the all-time record for March tornadoes. The good news, the rest of your March looks pretty quiet, and we're going to cross our fingers on that one. There's a live look from our Lucky Star Skycam network, our Chickasha camera. 57 degrees, no severe weather chances today, but today is all about a cold front coming in from the 80s yesterday. We're in the 50s and 60s today with a very strong north wind, and as it blasts through, winds will gust 40 to 45, maybe even 50 miles per hour, so it'll feel even cooler than those 50s and 60s. Statewide, we're dry other than a few showers down in the southwest, and with low humidity and the strong winds, fire danger will be elevated in the west. We'll talk more about the rest of your 9-day forecast. What does the rest of March look like? It's coming up.
Well, we now know one person lost their life after a multi-vehicle crash in northwest Oklahoma City, kind of during the storms last night. This was the scene just before the storm came in, Northwest Expressway near May. Oklahoma City police say a motorcycle crashed with 2 other cars, and the motorcyclist actually died. The eastbound lanes of the expressway were closed at the time. They have been reopened this morning.
Nowhere my instinct said that I should run from this until when I should have ran, it was too late.
Boy, what a time for a Metro Pizza delivery driver. He was shot on the job. He's talking with News 9 about the terrifying encounter. This was a little more than a week ago, right near Northeast 15th and Irving in the Metro. The victim, Steven, says that night started out really like any other night, but things then took a turn for the worse. When he went to a home, the person there said they never ordered a pizza. He called the number on the ticket. The customers told him to meet them at a different location. And he says when he went there, that's when the two men got him with a gun and tried to rob him.
I tried to get away as quickly as possible and try to get into my car and leave. As soon as I got the door open, that's when the trigger was pulled. Gun went off, and then I fell to the ground. They grabbed my bag.
And here's a look at one of the suspects. That's Jacoby Helms. Police say he has been arrested. They are still looking for that second suspect.
Let's go back to Love County in South Oklahoma as storm damage has rolled through that area. Let's turn to our Kylie Dedman. She is there live right now with a neighbor right close to a home that was basically leveled, the garage at least. Let's turn in and listen to what she has to say.
And Roberts is Roberts.
Perfect. So if you can first just tell me, what were you hearing last night around, 9:30ish, 10 o'clock last night?
I was just laying in bed and I heard a strong wind sound coming. I went out of my room. I live with my older mom, and I went in there and asked her, Mama, is there a tornado coming? And she jumped up. She said, I don't know. She heard the wind. And about that time, something hit the window. And so she jumped up and I did too, and we were looking for somewhere to go. And within 5 minutes, it was over us and going towards Main Street.
How scary is, and you and your mom, are y'all both safe? Are y'all okay? Is she
Yes,
okay?
yes.
Is she able to, if she's, older, is she able to move? Like, how is that trying to get her around?
Yeah, she can move and all that, but she doesn't like to get out. And, we would have to do that to get shelter. And she's, don't want to do that. So
Where did y'all end up going, or did y'all just stay put?
it was just over so quick. By the time we knew it was here, and it was just over while we were standing there trying to decide what to do.
What emotions were y'all feeling in that moment?
Oh, I was shaking, and we were calling everyone to try to find out if they're okay, and we were looking out the doors to check on the neighbors. There was flashlights everywhere, and then the power went out, and it was just chaotic. Lights like this.
That's Miss Roberts. So we're glad that they're okay, but certainly scary moments. A home there in that neighborhood, the garage completely blown away. So damage all over Marietta this morning. As far as your traffic, Highway 77 has power lines across it. That's just parallel to Highway I-35. So we'll continue to follow the latest from Kylie in Marietta throughout the morning.
The answer to your question is no. Did you authorize the raises? You didn't? No. You didn't authorize. So they just kind of fell out of the sky. It just fell out of the sky with a pen to authorize raises, and you didn't authorize it. Did the board chair, did you authorize them? Lord have mercy.
That's Oklahoma County Jail Trustee Derek Scobie pressing Jail Administrator Tim Kimbry for answers after pay raises for county jail employees show up on payroll, despite the jail trust voting to pause them due to a budget shortfall. Keep in mind, back in January, jail trustees voted to freeze all pay raises indefinitely amid ongoing budget concerns. Around 100 raises showed up on last month's payroll, and Oklahoma County Sheriff Tommy Johnson also spoke up about this at that meeting.
And so one person can't make the decision and go against an entire organization. Exactly what I felt was done with that vote. I believe it was, insubordination, to be quite frank.
So the county jail faces a $5 million budget shortfall coming up in about 15 minutes. Could the jail trust be dissolved? We'll show you what's happening at the meeting later this morning.
Boy, the drama continues surrounding the Oklahoma County Jail. Never gets a break.
It's an ongoing story.
Yes,
It has
really.
been for years. All right, let's get over to the Bob Mills Weather Center and check in with Megan. Megan, a lot of folks waking up assessing damage this morning.
Hate it. We had 2 rounds of severe weather last week. And then, of course, last night was a scary night for so many families in the storm shelter here in the metro. We had severe thunderstorms up in northwestern Oklahoma, down in the south, and also that tornado warned storm right through the heart of Oklahoma City. It has been an active night of weather across the southern plains, up into the Midwest and the Great Lakes, where there is snow flying this morning. And today, all about a cold front that brings in much cooler temperatures, and most of the state is dry this morning. A little light rain down to the southeast. We'll talk all about that full forecast coming up right after this quick break. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. It is 6:44 here on your Wednesday morning. I want to start by showing you video from Tuttle. If you're just now joining us, we had 2 weak tornadoes yesterday, and these were down on the southwest sides of the metro. Weak tornadoes. Notice how slow the spin and the rotation is here as this was pulling up dust and dirt. Here's your cone up kind of higher up towards the cloud base. And I just want to mention, if you're just now joining us, we've been talking so much about Marietta, where a very strong storm moved through, a severe thunderstorm. We don't know if it was straight line wind damage or if it was a tornado. It was not tornado warned, but there is some damage that could potentially look like a tornado did move through, a brief spin up. I just want to mention that Marietta is closed for the day, Marietta schools. So here is some hail video from our Tom Pastrano. We had a lot of hail in the metro all the way down into southern Oklahoma. Let me take you to links 1 because we have had a lot of moisture fall across across the state. We had severe thunderstorms back into the west and northwest yesterday, about 2 inches of rain in far western Oklahoma, out in Sayre and Elk City. The bulk of that very, very heavy rain, as it typically seems to be, was east of I-35, really down south towards Pauls Valley, east to Ada, and down towards Broken Bow, far eastern Oklahoma, 4 to 5 inches in spots. So yesterday, with the 2 tornadoes that we had, along with very, very warm temperatures, we are now sitting at the 3rd warmest start to March on record. And from the 2 tornadoes that we had yesterday on March 5th and 6th, last Thursday and Friday, 2 rounds of severe weather, last night's round of severe weather, the preliminary tornado count of 17 would tie the record from 1991. So it has been just a wild start to the month, and just want to show you it was not just us here at home. There was another area of low pressure and another little storm that caused big time severe weather across the Midwest up towards the Great Lakes. There is snow, winter storm warnings back into Wisconsin this morning, and ice storm warnings in Michigan. So this is just taking you back as the afternoon, the evening unfolded. Storms across the north really filled in from Oklahoma City to the south, and then we were severe clear here in really our viewing area by about 11 o'clock to 11:30 as everything pressed off into eastern Oklahoma. Just taking you back to that tornado warned storm here in Oklahoma City. I mean, we truly got so very lucky that we did not have a tornado right through Oklahoma City. Now, of course, we did have the 2 weak tornadoes down on the southwest side, but taking you back to about 5:45, we had a supercell go up over Gracemont. It produced some damaging winds and some hail, but watch what happens. We see a split, and you get a left storm and a right storm, and it's the right mover that is the one that you watch for the wind, hail, and the tornado threat. So that is what ultimately developed that hook feature, that screaming eagle, as you hear David talk about so very often. Look at the shape there. Mustang under that tornado warning, and the sirens were sounding. Folks across the metro in their tornado shelters as that storm moved right down I-40. The rotation, no tornado produced in Oklahoma City, but a whole lot of hail from Union City to Yukon up towards the Village, Frontier City, Spencer, Jones, and Nichols Hills. We have had hundreds of hail pictures rolling on in, and this just goes to show you where some of those storm reports are. Winds are very light to calm right now in Chickasha. That's the view from our Lucky Stars Skycam network. 57 is our temperature, but those winds are about to crank on up. Today is a ponytail day, that's for sure. 44 in Sealing, 60 in Norman, and 62 in Shawnee. 30s and 40s back behind the cold front, and a north wind gusting to about 30 and 35 miles per hour. We've had gusts upwards of 50 miles per hour this morning. We have a few showers down to the southeast. Otherwise, we are totally dry, and as that cold front comes blasting through, that wind field spreads down to the east. And again, today, a flat out windy day and a much, much cooler day. There will be low humidity across the west. The strong winds will give us an elevated fire threat, and from the 80s yesterday to the 50s and 60s this afternoon. No severe threat, guys. Today is a dry day. We'll have a little cloud cover, but enjoy a quiet day. Tonight, clear skies and relatively light winds. We're in the upper 20s, low 30s. South wind returns for your Thursday, and that starts to warm up as we go into your Friday and Saturday. Temperatures back into the 80s before our next cold front comes blasting through. Big cool down Sunday into Monday, and we warm it right back up.
I want to take you back live to Marietta this morning. Storm damage from last night's storm that swept through, and you're looking live right now at power lines that are sparking this morning. Also, as we pull out, there's storm damage on the ground, a home damaged, the smell of gas leaks in the area. This is right south of Main Street in Marietta, and now school is canceled in Marietta for today. We'll have more right after this.
Let's take you down to Love County. Many reporting heavy storm damage this morning, including a garage at a home that was completely destroyed in Marietta.
Smell of gas. Schools are closed in Marietta. Let's get our Kylie Dedman. She is live there this morning with the latest. Boy, that home behind you, it took some type of wind hit or storm hit for sure, Kylie.
Yeah, Robin, what used to be a garage is now just completely leveled. I mean, you can still see the wall attached to the rest of the home, but the roof of the home, the roof of the garage, the side of the garage, all just completely wiped out from strong winds, possibly a tornado damage last night. We're still waiting on confirmation, but strong, heavy winds just completely damaged this home. And kind of above the home a little bit, we're seeing some sparks from power lines touching one another and touching trees in the area. So road assistance, fire officials are in this area. This is near Creek and 6th Street, just 3 blocks south of Main Street. So extensive damage. Fire officials are here monitoring the area. And like y'all mentioned, yes, we are smelling gas also in the area. So fire officials are here working on everything. We're hearing from neighbors as well, but heavy, extensive damage here in Marietta. We're seeing tons of power lines also down on the ground. So residents in this area are having to be extremely cautious and careful when driving out and about, not just for the debris, but also because of these down power lines. But this is what we're seeing all throughout town here in Marietta. We'll keep you updated as we learn and see more. But reporting live here in Love County in Marietta, Kylie Dedman, Oklahoma's own News 9.
Daylight will reveal more damage will be in the air this morning. Again, schools are closed in Marietta this Wednesday morning. Keep it here on News 9. There are reports this morning the Oklahoma County Commissioners could dissolve the jail trust. Commissioners are meeting today and discussing creating a group to do just that. It is on the agenda. Also on the agenda, a discussion to possibly submit a request for an audit of the Criminal Justice Authority.
We'll be watching that. Meanwhile, a check of traffic here at 5:58. So far across the metro, roads looking very good. No major crashes to report to you. We do want to mention down in Love County and Marietta and far southern Oklahoma, some power lines down across the roads there. No school in Marietta today after some severe storm damage.
Hate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goodness.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
That's wild.
Right? Oh my gosh.
Hey, no severe weather today. Cold front is coming through. There are showers down in southeastern Oklahoma. Everybody else is dry. 50s and 60s today with a very strong north wind. Fire danger out west.
All right, we'll have aerial damages from Love County at 9 a.m. See you then.